For thousands of years, the awe-inspiring coastal geography, spectacular wildlife, and diverse climate of Kouchibouguac have attracted so many, for so many different reasons. Imagine the effect it'll have on you. Kouchibouguac National Park of Canada is a mystical and special place like no other. It breathes a spectacular heritage with many fascinating stories to tell. Established in 1969, Kouchibouguac National Park is a protected coastal paradise whose rich past was born out of three vibrant Atlantic coastal cultures: the Mi'kmaq, the Acadians, and English-speaking immigrants. The traditions, livelihoods, and beliefs of those who, not so long ago, lived in the area that is now the park were influenced by its ecological diversity and abundant natural and seasonal resources. The park itself lies within Mi'kma'ki, the ancient homeland of the Mi'kmaq. Its often mispronounced name, Kouchibouguac, is of Mi'kmaq origin, meaning river of the long tides.
Quay, hello.
Hi.
How are you?
Good.
That's good. This is the moose, and I have it near the door, and I'll always have it near a doorway wherever I am, because the moose is my clan. Here at Kouchibouguac National Park of Canada, I am a heritage interpreter, but what makes it even more important is I'm a member of the First Nations community, and I represent our people here at the park. You could say that we arrived when the first tree grew. One of the values that the Mi'kmaq had, which can be used today, is conservation. People now take more than what they need. And originally, the Mi'kmaq, they only took what they needed, nothing more, nothing less. And that's what can be learned today, to conserve, to preserve. We now are in the circle of the drum where everybody's together. Each nationality is that cord that comes in. If we cut the cord and not learn about each other and not show respect, the world as we know it today will fall apart, and so will the heartbeat of Mother Earth.
The Mi'kmaq's spiritual and cultural connections to the land and coast span thousands of years, centuries before the arrival of Cabot, Cartier, and others, including the Acadians and immigrants from Europe. But between the years 1755 and 1764, the Acadian presence in what is currently known as New Brunswick, Nova Scotia, and Prince Edward Island was all but eliminated. Branding them as undesirable citizens, British and New England forces deported thousands of Acadians to the Anglo-American colonies and to ports in France and Britain. In 1764, Acadians still in the maritime region received permission to re-establish their settlements. They were soon joined by a significant minority who made their way back from exile to Canada's maritime provinces. Those who eventually settled what is now Kouchibouguac National Park mostly came from other places in New Brunswick, such as Memramcook, and from the Gaspésie region of Quebec. Around the same time, United Empire Loyalists from the newly founded United States and immigrants from Scotland, Ireland, England, and elsewhere also arrived, establishing prosperous farms and many successful businesses.
The appeal of this area for Acadian and English-speaking people was the resources. The forests, the soil, the fisheries were all of good quality, and this is what attracted these people to this area. The wood industry had its beginnings as early as 1810. Wood was in great demand in Great Britain, and the white pine forests of Kent County were exploited, and they were put on board ships. Now these ships were built in this area. Now the reason why they built the ships here in the area is that the material was readily available.
By the late 1880s, fishing became the main local industry. Mi'kmaq, Acadians, and English-speaking peoples worked side by side in prosperous commercial fisheries that for decades exported products such as canned lobster all over the world.
They were already fishing salmon on a commercial basis as early as the 1790s. Starting in the 1840s, they started to can lobster. And up to this day, the lobster fishery is one of the main economic activities of the area.
In 1969, things in the area once again dramatically changed with the creation of Kouchibouguac National Park. The lands of approximately 1,200 Acadian and English-speaking residents were eventually expropriated to create the park. While many residents accepted government compensation and left willingly, there were those who refused to leave. They protested, sometimes violently, their alleged illegal forced removal and unfair compensation. Some Acadians compared the shock of the 1969 expropriation with the deportations of their ancestors centuries earlier. Consequently, the Government of Canada eventually stopped the practice of expropriating people's lands to create national parks.
I was a son of a man who lost his property to the expropriation. I was very angry when I was in Germany sitting there and couldn't do a thing about it. In the army, serving my country, and all my land, my homeland was being taken by my government that I was serving, you know, in Germany. It didn't sit well with me at all, and it still don't today, because I got nothing out of any of this when I came back. And I had to go find a new piece of land to build a house on. Everything happened. It was a community that survived on the old way of doing things, you know. They fished there, they hunted there, they lived there. Everybody grew their own vegetables, everybody lived off the land, basically. People would have been much happier in their old surroundings. And to be able to live and die where they were raised and lived all their life without being ripped up from the ground and thrown out and said, now we're making a park. It was a very hard thing for people to do.
Following a special inquiry in 1980, the federal government agreed to allow former residents to continue commercial and recreational fishing in the park.
One of the good things, they left the wharf there and it's still there and they still fish out of it today. Lots of tourists go to see it. They want to see people working in it. They want to see fishing going on. They want to see what the community has to offer.
Today, almost all physical evidence of the former communities that lived and thrived in the park's boundaries has disappeared. Kouchibouguac's beating heart is its healthy and thriving coastal and aquatic ecosystems. Here, visitors can walk, swim, paddle, bike, camp, and learn about coastal life in one of Canada's most dynamic coastal national parks.
So here in Kouchibouguac, I'm a heritage interpreter, so my role is to get visitors involved in knowing more about the park's natural habitats. And some of the activities that we offer are outdoor theaters, puppet shows, campfire programs, a variety of things like that so that people can participate and learn more about the maritime lowlands. With the Lagoon Life program, this is a great occasion for the whole family to come and explore the lagoons and the estuary. We catch all kinds of things, hermit crabs, rock crabs, little fish.
Patrick loves playing with jellyfish. Oh yeah, aren't they lovely? They are. He's going to show us where the mouth of the jellyfish is.
So the mouth is right in the center here. You can't really see it because it all looks like gelatin. Do you want to try and put your finger in there?
Okay.
Right there. Do you feel it?
Yeah,
Yep, I
there you
feel it.
go.
Feel it?
I feel it.
We've enjoyed this lagoon search and finding all the interesting things and learning about it. We certainly don't have any seawater in Ontario, so finding about all those things was something absolutely new for us.
And we found fishes. I found one. And we found shrimps. Yeah, and I caught the flounder.
And of course, after the program, we put everything back in the water.
One of the park's most striking features is its sweeping coastal sand dunes, which provide a summer home for the endangered piping plover and one of North America's largest common term populations. They also serve as a welcomed refuge for seals to sun themselves.
Here at the park, we have the Voyageur canoe experience where people come aboard the canoe with an interpreter and we paddle out to Blacklands Gully. This is where we have the common tern colony and the gray seals that come every summer to rest on the dunes. And when people reach Blacklands Gully, it's so magical to see all this wildlife so close up. It's very exciting and a very special place to visit here in the park. People are just in awe with what they see.
Stretching 25 kilometers across the park's entire oceanfront, the barrier islands create shelter for the teeming life in its estuaries, rivers, and salt marshes. Constantly affected by the forces of nature, the islands are extremely vulnerable to the damage caused by local nor'easter storms and hurricanes.
If an ecosystem like the sand dune is being damaged either by a storm or human activities, it can repair itself quite easily if you give it a chance. Sometimes we need restoration, but most of the time Mother Nature will do the restoration itself if we give them the time, and we take the right decision in terms of managing people in the ecosystem so we have the least impact possible. This is the role of a national park, is to protect ecosystem and make sure that people can benefit from it for many generations to come.
The experience mountain biking on this trail is quite something. You're on a single track, narrow path in the middle of the forest. You seem to be all by yourself. There's the smell and the look and the color, especially in the fall. It's quite an experience. You have the chance to see a lot of wildlife. I've seen moose and I've seen a lot of birds, sometimes small mammals. It's challenging enough, so it's fun, but not too challenging, so even a family could have fun on the trail. So it's very special.
I think this is a beautiful park. It's a park of all seasons. It's a chance to be outside. It's peaceful, it's quiet. We've got skiing in the winter, snowshoeing. There's all sorts of activities here. I think it's a tremendous resource.
Snowshoeing at Kouchibouguac National Park is pretty special. The trails are specially prepared. They've got a number of walking trails and they have identified snowshoe trails, and it's a great opportunity to feel the solitude and to listen to the silence.
Kouchibouguac's terrain is generally flat, with small knolls separating the river basins of its two largest rivers, the Kouchibouguac and the Kouchibouguac. Peatlands and bogs cover nearly a quarter of the park, and more than half of its landmass is made up of Acadian forest. Much of the forest is regenerating from the impacts of land clearing caused by the forestry, wooden shipbuilding, and farming practices of the past. Designated as a dark sky preserve, the park has reduced all unnecessary artificial light to capture star-filled nights, much as they would have been centuries ago. Kouchibouguac was created to protect some of the most diverse and fascinating biological ecosystems found anywhere in the natural maritime plain region. Its dramatic natural landscape provides opportunities to witness and study firsthand the dynamic forces that continue to reshape it.
Today we work beside Parks Canada and a lot of other organizations to protect what is there and conserve everything that we can and to share our teachings.
That's a nice beat.
To me, that's very important, that we protect lands for future Canadians and for future visitors.
The preservation of the park's fragile natural resources and rich cultural heritage is a shared responsibility that involves not only those who operate and protect it, but by all who visit and enjoy all that it has to offer.
When I see visitors, whether kids or adults, discovering new things around, new natural things, it's really rewarding. It's worth a million.
You need to go back to your roots and go back to nature to be able to appreciate everything else that's going on.
It's a jewel right in our backyard.
It's unique and it has its charm, and I wouldn't go anywhere else.
You cannot describe, it's just, it surrounds you, and when you come here and you see all this beautiful nature, it's just a great place to come, and you want to come again and again.
For centuries, people have been drawn to this fascinating place to live, work, learn, and play. We hope that you too will find inspiration in this very special place. Your Kouchibouguac memories await.